What's going on, guys? Today's video is going to be a deep dive into the pistol world, and we're going to be talking about, does size matter? Stay tuned for more. All right, so when I say does size matter, right? I swear that didn't get locked down on that. I've actually been having problems with mags having locked back, and it's because you got to stretch out the mags every now and then. That's a quick fix, but I'll talk about that in a later video. But today we're going to be talking about what is your context. I know this has one in the chamber. What is your context for your pistol and how you should determine whether size matters? We're going to be talking about two different sizes. Size of compensators, ports, and where that comes into play, and how that affects performance in all types of different aspects. So here we have 26 G26 style pistol. Boom. We got the 19 size style / compact. So this is subcompact, compact, and then this is compact but built to be kind of full size with the full size light, compensator, permanently affixed, and the extended mag. So let's talk about all three of these and what I use them for and where this comes into play. Now, compensators are really useful because they help mitigate the felt recoil. They don't really reduce it for real. They do make it shoot a little flatter, so it reduces the felt recoil, so it feels like it's shooting flatter. It's easier to track that dot if you have a dot on it. And I'll throw in some footage here of me shooting this compensator, which is very flat indeed, very flat. And you can see in the footage it does track really well, so that really does help. But in the smaller packages, it really only reduces the felt recoil a little bit. It doesn't shoot as flat as you can see with like the P365 and stuff like that, and that's where weight really comes into play. So when you're going into the concealed carry aspect, that's where weight really comes into play as well. So you have to balance between size, weight, and capacity. So the smaller guns, like this one right here, only holds, I believe, 14 plus 1, so 15. But this normal size holds 15, and then you plus 1, that's 16. And then this is a 20 rounder that you can put in there. And the good thing about Glock is that all of these magazines will fit as long as they have the clearance in the magazine will. So that's one good thing, one plus for them, a plus for that, I guess. But trying to balance them and find out what you're using them for is really complicated, because you have to balance, like, you're always going to give up something. So with the Glock platform, you're giving up the weight. What do I mean by that? Yeah, it's real lightweight, but that's going to increase the felt recoil, whereas something like this right here is, you're going to feel it recoil less, but at the same time you have more mass reciprocating, so you have more parts that can fail. In addition to, this is going to be heavier, so you're gonna need to tighten up your belt, have a stronger belt, more rigid belt to conceal carry this. Plus you're gonna need a better holster. Yeah, so sorry, I heard sirens. I don't know what was going on. Anyways, so, and then something like this, adding a red dot and all of this weight really comes into play, especially when it comes to training and stuff like that. You have to take that into consideration. And then if you want to really get big with this platform, you can get something like this, or make something like this, where you got the built-in compensator, but it's not built into the slide. They don't really have like one-piece barrel comps that they do have some that you have to make. They're really expensive. That's another thing that comes to into effect, is price as well. But like, this is a 20 rounder compared to this 20 rounder, and you can see how small it is. So that's another factor that comes into play when it comes to capacity and magazine size, because this is how I look at it. Let me put all of this to the side. Okay, it's all really about the form factor. What form factor can be comfortable? So you know that this with a holster is going to be really hard to conceal because it's so long, and the I don't know, the circumference of this really is not even. What do I mean by that? Like if I had a protractor and I went like this all the way around like that, it wouldn't be even on both sides. As you can see, this side is way shorter than this, which that's kind of good, but this is still going to drag, so that's going to go further down into your leg. Whereas you can see the form factor of this, and you can hold that 20 rounder with that, and that's just about even form factor. It's not too off right there. Obviously the light's gonna stick out a little more, but you got to take that into effect. And lights and lasers, that's a whole nother video that we could talk about later. Red dots is as well, if you want to see that later. But that's one thing that I take into effect. And ultimately, what have I decided for my concealed carry? You know, I think all of these are viable options for different seasons. You know, this could be a winter carry, this could be like a fall, spring carry, and you know, this can be the summer. This usually is my summer because you got to have lower concealment, and concealment is another factor that comes into play when you're talking about all of this aspects and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's really up to you. Whatever you want and whatever you feel like your combination is best. So like for instance, I'm probably putting a red dot on this because it's easier to track. I know exactly what red dot I'm getting. I'm getting the ACSS red dot for that, so that I can track it. And with this being a smaller frame, I want to get a flatter trigger so that it's easier to shoot in that, you know, easier, because all of this take up is just ridiculous before you even get to the wall. That don't make no sense to me. Now you know it's clear. That don't make no sense to me. Whereas something like this, and that's all the take up it has right there. Boom. And that's it. So I can't really fix that problem per se, but I can make it flatter so that it feels a little better when I'm pulling it, you know, just a little bit. But anyways, couple more things I take into effect is, how is it gonna print? Like, is it gonna stick up a whole bunch like in the back strap? Like for instance, these, if you compare back straps, the 1911s poke out a lot longer with this. Now granted, they do have fixed ones that you can fix down and stuff like that, but that's what makes the 1911 so great, is that you get such a deep purchase on it, and you can get so close to the bore that it kind of mitigates a little recoil on its own. And these are like really low, but this is like really high, so you like almost a whole inch above, you know. And that helps when you're, you know, the higher you are, the more it can actually go into your hand. Except in if it's really high, you're gonna feel that flipping, and you're basically gonna be fighting it down the whole time, which that increases the felt recoil on its own. But at the end of the day, I would just say, know what you're gonna use it for, because like a gun like this, would I recommend somebody conceal carrying it? Probably not. You know, would I recommend somebody conceal carrying this without training? Absolutely not. Would I recommend somebody conceal carrying this? I think so. This is a pretty good do-all, fits-all, fits most, whatever gun. Me personally, if I'm going somewhere, I like conceal carrying this sometimes. I just don't have a holster for this type of, you know, so I'll have it in my bag or whatever. But this is my upgraded Roland Special, by the way. Check out that video series to where I got to where I am now on this thing. But you know, I think anything I carry has to have a light, which is why I'm kind of running away from carrying this. really, because it's really hard to find a holster that fits a light with this as well. That's like really inexpensive, not gonna cost me an arm and a leg. That's like really hard to find. And let me know if y'all can find one or think of one, a good combo. But I'm still trying. But each of these have a different how do you say, a different, what's the word I'm looking for, use, has a different use. So like this is like a range toy slash I train with this on the outdoor range. This is like a concealed carry-ish kind of project, working on a gun, concealed carry, range concealed carry toy, nightstand kind of thing. And then this is just the winter slash compensated super flat shooting 1911. So let me know what y'all think. What would y'all conceal carry? What do you conceal carry? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We got more coming, so stay tuned for that piece.